New details today in the Robert Kraft case. This 10-page sneak and peek search warrant, as it's called, police were granted from a Florida judge to unseal the documents. And it is full of salacious details from the months-long investigation into what was going on inside and outside of the Orchids of Asia massage parlor. So in the warrant, an officer who was undercover says, quote, "After being at the business for over 7 hours, I only observed male clients enter and exit the business, despite the listing advertising facials and other services for female clients." I want to bring in criminal defense attorney Vinoo. Vinoo, thank you so much for being with me. That wasn't even the most salacious. We actually learned that police faked a bomb threat. That's how they got in there and put these hidden cameras. And the legality of that is what's in question, right?
Well, I think the first thing for Robert Kraft is that, winning the Super Bowl or sixth Super Bowl wasn't the happy ending that he was looking for, right? So, with this warrant, the thing is that it's going to be tough for his lawyers. So his lawyers are taking a very risky strategy here because they're pushing for a speedy trial and challenging the warrant as it is before they've gotten all the discovery. So the legality of it, they've argued that these warrants are constitutionally problematic. That is true. That being said, most of the time these are granted. And what's going to happen here is that this judge is probably going to grant or say that it passes constitutional muster. That's legal mumbo-jumbo for saying it's fine, proceed to trial. And they probably won't want to proceed to trial at that point.
The more his lawyers try and keep these videotapes out of the public, how much more does that hurt Robert Kraft? I mean, we don't even know what's on these videotapes, but does it even matter? We're hearing so much about them.
So that's actually a very interesting issue because that actually deals with First Amendment grounds. So anything that's involved in court proceedings is normally open to the public. There's a right of access for reporters like you and Headline News and places like that. So they have to show that the need is so far great for him, and they're arguing right to privacy. It's arguable. I mean, I will say arguable at best whether he has a right to privacy in a criminal investigation. So there are some things that are kept down as a matter of course, like date of birth, social security numbers, things like that. But that's not what this is. So I think that they, obviously, from their perspective, they don't want it out there. It's highly embarrassing. This probably is what people are thinking is on there. So I see why they wouldn't want it out there. But they're also going to have a tough time with that argument as well.
Is there any there without this tape as evidence?
Yeah, I mean, without the tape, and they're going to move to the legal term is suppress, to keep it out of evidence. Without the tape, I think the prosecution would have a very difficult time of proceeding on this case because, well, let's say they're successful and they're actually able to suppress the tape. At that point, the state would probably take what's called an interlocutory appeal, which means then go to the appellate court. There's very few times that the government can appeal a criminal case, but this would be one of them. And then they would have, this case may even reach the Florida Supreme Court at a certain point. But for all of this stuff, I think it's a dangerous strategy by his lawyers to push this case the way they are. Let the discovery come out, see what happens. But I also understand that he doesn't want to plead with the way that they're asking him to plead, which is admitting his guilt and then giving him this diversion program. I wouldn't accept that either. I think you just got to get back to the negotiating table.
Vinoo, so good to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.